Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Wanted to go through today understanding the trail leg sort of straightening motion, and is that right for you, and is that motion going to make it a little bit easier for you to finish and complete your backswing. First, we got to make sure we understand your movements. If you need to know more about that, make sure you check out the obsessedgolfclub.com, check out the body movement assessment. That's going to help us understand sort of how that trail hip is going to move. But I'm going to go through sort of if you have a relatively good internal or neutral, or in the club we call it elite amateur level trail hip internal rotation, how if we have some range of internal rotation, how we can let that trail leg extend slightly, straighten slightly to help you load up a little bit better in the backswing, or produce a little bit longer backswing so we can produce more energy in the transition. Looking forward to sharing some of the steps with you to get this right and get this movement efficient in the backswing. Okay guys, efficiently moving and extending that trail leg or straightening that trail leg in the backswing, want to go through a couple sort of tendencies that I see that get people in trouble when they try to do this, and make sure you understand the right and easiest way for you to make sure you're doing this correctly. Okay, so when we're looking at tendencies, okay, so the first tendency I see when people are trying to create like a longer backswing and let this trail leg extend is they do it in a way that their trail hip ends up sliding out like this. So they end up with a straight trail leg, but now I haven't really created much rotation. So in the effort to get taller, they're just extending their leg by swaying their hip. So if my hip keeps moving this way, eventually that's going to straighten my leg, but in a way that's not super efficient in the backswing. So it's going to put me in a sort of a compromised top of the backswing position, but my leg is straight. So it's really important as we get that leg extending that this hip will be rotating backwards and not swaying out. Okay, so that's sort of important step number one. Make sure the hip's not going out as it's extending. Step two in making sure that the trail leg is extending properly or straightened properly is making sure, again, this is sort of a tendency I see when people are trying to do this, as they go to extend this leg, they let all their pressure move into their front leg. So it sort of looks like this. So again, the leg is straightened, but now you can see that all my pressure is on my front foot, not my back foot. So it's really important as we let this leg start to extend that when I get this into this position where it's a little bit straighter and more extended, so if I'm doing it from this way, okay, a little straighter, more extended, that I am able to lift this front foot. I'm not in a position to lift my back foot, okay? So that's really important, and it's going to make the transfer of energy so much easier if we can get that position where you're not loaded on your front foot at the top of the swing. Step number three when it comes to loading the back hip and the trail leg better and straightening that trail leg better in the backswing is understanding when you're doing it that the leg isn't just hyperextending. So if you watch my leg when I do it this way, so I've straightened it, I haven't swayed, but I've just locked out my knee, okay? So when I lock out my knee, I'm not in a very dynamic position. It's gonna be hard to regain the flex and transition. So as we're going back, the leg is gonna be straightening, okay? But I'm doing it in a way that it happens because of how my hip is moving, not by just snapping my knee backwards, okay? So we're gonna let the hip elevate, which is gonna let the leg get into that extended position or straighter position. I'm not just straightening my leg to get my length of backswing and my leg in a like longer, straighter position. I want to make sure I'm doing it as my pelvis turns. That's going to let my leg extend versus me just snapping my leg. That's not a very athletic move. It's going to be tough on the knee, and it's going to be tough to get out of that position in transition. Okay, going through the drill that I like the most to help people with this movement so they understand it the best is as they're going through that backswing, okay, so my bend here, because that's my forward bend of my pelvis, as I go to rotate, that bend puts my left hip lower and my right hip higher, okay? As my right hip gets higher, that's what's extending this trail leg. It's not me straightening it. Another way to think about it is as this right hip gets higher, my hands are going to be reaching up to the sky. That also is going to help me straighten this leg effectively. And when I do it, the drill that I love is if I just put my hand on my belt as I go to take it back, so I'm feeling the left hip go down, the right hip, I'm almost feeling like I'm pulling it up and back, and then I reach my hands up. That's gonna feel like my foot is sort of screwed into the ground and my right hip is higher than my left and my leg is extended but not locked out. really easy drill, but you're gonna feel some great movement when I do this. So I'm not cheating, I'm just letting this hip sort of elevate, I'm pulling it up and back, and now I'm in a really loaded top of the backswing position, ready to produce an athletic transition, a dynamic transition. That's gonna help us get more energy and be able to produce repeatable shots, versus if this is not moving effectively, I'm gonna have to make a lot of compensations in the downswing, which is a lot faster than the backswing, right? So we want this backswing to be right. We want to be loaded in a good position and in a way that's going to help us produce efficient energy and repeatable shots. So if you want more specifics about what you need to do for your swing, make sure you check out theobsessedgolfclub.com. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Looking forward to sharing more with you. Have a great day.